Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Surge of a Heightened Fighting Spirit, Super Saiyan Broly, AGL Super Saiyan Broly, and basically just how good he is in DBZ Dokkan at 100% in the Hidden Potential system. Now Broly is a Super Boss's transformation boost or full power, category lead of 170%, and has an additional 30% HP attack and defense for those who belong to Exploding Rage or the Movie Bosses category. He raises attack permanently and raises defense for 1 turn on his 12 key. He also greatly raises attack and raises his defense for 4 turns on his 18 key. He has an entrance animation that can be activated once only unconditionally and has key plus 5 attack and defense of 100% at the beginning of turn for the first 4 turns of combat, and has a guaranteed additional super. He has attack and defense of 150%, guards all attacks, and has an additional key plus 1, and also per key so obtained an additional attack of 50% when performing a super, additional defense of 50% if it's an ultra super, and key plus 2 and launches an additional super attack as a first or second attacker in the turn, and key plus 6 launches a guaranteed additional super attack and a high chance of launching yet another super attack as the third attacker in the turn. So pretty good stuff. Broly, all things considered, is really good. When he transforms, he gets even better. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn on his 12 key, greatly raises attack and defense on his 18 key. He has key plus 6 and attack and defense of 300%, and he guards all attacks as well. He gets an additional key plus 1 per key so obtained and reduces damage received by 26%. Whilst his domain is active. His domain is active for 4 turns from transformation, which can be activated in the 4th turn. You get an additional attack of 50% when attacking, and also an additional defense when receiving an attack of 50%. He launches an additional super attack. He has a chance of performing a critical hit of 26% when performing a super attack. He launches another super attack and has another 26% chance of critting when performing a ultra super attack. And when key is 24, he launches another guaranteed super attack. So count that out. He has 1 super attack, launches another super attack. He launches another super attack when doing an 18 key, so that's 3. And then has another super attack when key is 24, so that's 4. And then if you do his hidden potential system, that can be 5 super attacks with a bare minimum of 52% crit chance, which is really quite insane. So Broly looks very good. On top of that as well, Broly has a decent link set. Broly's link set is Prodigy, Super Saiyan, Berserker, Shocking Speed, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. All stuff that is fairly easy to get. Broly himself is honestly a very good unit, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, he is a really solid unit on Movie Bosses, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Transformation Boost, Super Saiyan, Exploding Rage, Miraculous, Awakening, Gifted Warriors, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and Super Bosses. What are Broly's weaknesses then? Well, a little bit in terms of link set. He's neither here nor there, so he's not, outside other Broly units. He doesn't link tremendously with many other units. He shares like 4 or 5 links with a lot of Super Saiyan LRs, which is probably your best go-to. But since his best team is Super Bosses, there's not a huge amount of actual other Super Bosses that he links amazingly with. Goku Blacks, he's like okay with, because they will have Prepared for Battle. He's not too bad alongside, for example, like the Goku Black units. He's okay alongside like Turles and other Movie Bosses units. But generally speaking, on Super Bosses, you're probably running him alongside a Goku Black or something, which means you're getting decent link sets, just not amazing ones. Now, it's not a huge problem. It's not like it makes Broly terrible, but it is something to consider. With that being said, Broly is really quite solid. Obviously, his guard helps him a lot defensively. His defense in his base form and in transform can get to a pretty high state even before he supers. So you can sit with like 500, 600k defense before supering, which with guard most times is enough to handle a lot of situations. I think a couple bosses super attacks will give you some problems, of course, but I think you'll survive. Like, I think you'll survive and he'll be pretty good to go. Now obviously key is a big thing for Broly. I'm going to be honest, I have yet to really struggle to get him key It could be an issue, of course, I understand that, but for me, I've got to be honest, it's just not an issue I've come across like very often. I know some people, like, keys obviously super important. You know, he needs to get his 24 keys, he's got to get his ultra super attacks, he's got to get all that stuff to trigger his full passive. I just have not had issues with it. Attack stat wise, we're looking at a guy who's going to throw out a 20 million attack stat, 23 million attack stat. He's going to be able to throw out 20 millions and then 16, 16, 16, 16, all with like pretty much a huge crit chance. In terms of build, I would definitely say additional and a little bit of crit. Like 52% crit's a lot, but getting an additional, let's call it 30% or something, I think will put you, like even 10 or 15%, will just give you good like crit line. Because you'll have 52%, and then, you know, when that doesn't trigger, you'll have like another 8% chance to trigger it. So like it'll just end up being good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll just help you see those crits pretty much very consistently. But I do think getting the 5th super attack is more important. I know some people prioritize crit. I feel like the 5th super attack is more important because it just comes to, it brings he just really does some nut stuff. Either way, you're looking at a guy who, with a dupe and 100%, you're probably seeing 5 super attack. You're seeing a crazy unit. There's not really a lot of ways to go about it. You're seeing a nuts unit. So yeah, in terms of links, just prioritize Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle. You'll be more than fine. Shocking Speed's also fine. Berserk is a good link, but it's something that kicks in more when you're desperate. I mean, it is great, don't get me wrong. Like, it's going to boost his attack stats to being close to the 30 mil mark. Like, he'll push up, I think he'll go to like 26 million or something. Like, he'll get nuts. Like, it's definitely a good link when it is active, but I don't think it's something to prioritize, at least personally for me. It's not something I feel is absolutely necessary to have Broly be a good unit. It's helpful, it's great, but it's not mandatory. It's not something I think is absolutely necessary. So yeah, Broly looks amazing. I think he's awesome at 100%. So yeah, bye.